let's move into Mavericks-Warriors. The Mavericks won the regular season 3-1, but no Draymond for three of those. A lot of misses pieces there. We've already talked about the brilliance of Luka Doncic a little bit earlier in the podcast. JJ, what's your big question heading into the series? What are you keying
Um,
in on?
I still have two, I think, and they're both defensive questions. My first question is, who starts on Luka? And what do they do when he starts hunting people? The thing with Luka, and I played with him briefly last year, but I got to witness his brilliance in the playoffs. The thing with Luka, when he target hunts and he gets the target on him and he believes he's able to score on you, he's going to score on you. Like when he gets his matchup, I'd love to see his percentages. Like it's certain guys where it's like, in the Clippers series last year, like if Zubac was on him, he probably shot 90% from series. I'm not exaggerating. Like it felt like early in the series, like Pat Beverly, you put Pat Beverly on him, who's scoring on Pat Beverly? Like, and I think to some degree in the Phoenix series, we saw that with Chris and we saw that with Ayton. Those are the two guys where just like he just believed every time, like, I'm gonna score on you. So how they sort of deal with him, because you can't guard him. Like he's just too good. So it's, who starts on him? How do they manage the target hunting? And then on the other side, and some of this is probably Luka and Kleber as well, as those bigger players, like when they start switching everything, like how good, how pristine are they on those switches? I thought Denver was awful. I thought at times Memphis was awful. I thought at times Memphis didn't switch when they should have. I brought this up after game 2 and when Clay hit the three. It was the worst defensive execution I've ever seen at the end of the game in a playoff series. Like the fact that Jaren Jackson Jr. was on an inbounds play, was sitting underneath the rim when the play was clearly going to be for Steph or Clay in some form to come back to the ball to get an open three. And you're not up to switch at the point of the screen. It was baffling to me. And so that's what I'm looking for. Is like if Dallas is smart with their switches off the ball, if they execute those switches well, they will have a chance in this series. Absolutely. And they could win this series. If they do it really well, they could win this series.
I only had one follow-up question. Is this a sneaky Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie series with what Dallas has shown this playoff run and with what Golden State has shown defensively against dribble penetration? Does that open the door?
Yeah, it's a valid point. The thing about irrational confidence, guys, is when they see a couple go in, they suddenly turn into Superman. And Dinwiddie had that game 6 where he hit 4 threes and then he was Superman in game 7. And there's carryover to that as well. He could potentially have a big series. What do you guys think? Do you think they start Draymond at the 5? Do you think they just rock with that from the get-go? Do you think there's some Kevon Looney in there? Because I'm telling you right now, like, and I much respect to Kevon Looney, but the idea of Kevon Looney in the starting lineup is giving me a lot of Zubac flashbacks to last year, where if he's on the floor, Luka's just going to say, I'm going to score on that guy. And I think you may at some point, whether they start the series this way, you may at some point, it's just like you got to start Draymond at the 5, and you go small, you bring Poole in the lineup, and you just play.
I hate to be quickly cliche, but the Looney thing makes me nervous because of the switching, and then his roles on the other end. That's going to give Dallas some help. Put 2 on the ball, and then if you start Draymond from the start, dribble penetration, ...
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid. Which is to your point about Jalen Brunson, I think is, Dinwiddie, I think is huge. It's huge. A lot of people have been picking the Warriors now for a few weeks to win the West. Even prior, obviously prior to this series and the results of Game 7 on Sunday. Dallas has a chance, man. Dallas has a real chance in this series. And the odds makers are not saying that, but I'm saying it. Fuck. I'm saying they got a chance to win this series.
They do. Hold on. So, JJ, do you want us to let you go now?
Yeah, well, you can wrap it up.
Okay. Well, then we'll let you go. I guess Steve and I can bounce on this series a little bit.
Thanks, JJ.
Hey
You for
guys,
taking the time out.
we appreciate it. You may or may not keep this in the podcast, but I got to get up early to go on television tomorrow, unfortunately. Another long day at the office. You know what I mean? Another long day at the office. A lot of takes tomorrow. Again, I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. Appreciate what you guys do. Yeah, and I think we're going to get 2 awesome conference finals.